Hi, Charlie McCann, Stan James. Welcome to a preview of the midweek football action and also continuation of Australian Open Tennis Championship. Certainly the men's Federer absolutely imperious in beating Hewitt in straight sets just a couple of minutes ago. That game finished. But first of all, what do we learn from the weekend? Chelsea now the 6-4 favourite with Stan James for the FA Cup. 2's on the rest. You can have 2-1 on for any other team, but 6-4 Chelsea to retain the cup at Wembley in May. First, the big midweek football matches. It's 5-6 each of two. Whoever you think will get to Wembley in the second semi-final of second leg semi-final of the Carling Cup between United and City. United are 13-8 on, draw 12-5, City 9-2. But we're betting 5-6 each of two. Who qualifies for the final to play Aston Villa? Villa, of course, are the 11-8 favourites for the Carling Cup. Manchester United 15-8, as is Manchester City. 5-6 each of two. We can't pick them. The Chelsea 6-4, 2's on the field for the FA Cup. Let's go through the football action this midweek. Massive week of Premier League fixtures. I suppose we say that every midweek, every weekend that we have a set of fixtures. Pompey, a big game for them, 6-4 against West Ham, 8-5 in the draw. I fancy the draw here at 11-5. Pompey, of course, won. Beat Sunderland, but sort of woeful Sunderland going through this extremely poor run. Sunderland, Pompey came from a goal down there, 6-4. David James looks as if he's going to be on his way to Stoke. He probably needs to get games under his belt if he's going to make the plane to South Africa later in the year. Spurs. What you make of Spurs 8-15 against Fulham 5-1. Fulham, who won at it's no longer the Fraser Eagles Stadium, at the Crown Stadium at Accrington at the weekend, but I think they'll find that difficult at White Hart Lane. Spurs, of course, were disappointed they conceded that late equaliser to lead. Wolves, I think Liverpool will win this. Wolves 4-1, 12-5 the draw, and 4-6 Liverpool. Wolves, of course, with probably one eye on this encounter when they drew 2-2 with Crystal Palace. Much improved Crystal Palace. I think that's 6 unbeaten for Neil Warnock's side. But 2-2 then, I think the Reds will come through. Probably won't be very pretty the way Liverpool are playing, but having to grind out results. And this won't be, but it will be a fascinating game. I think it's live on Sky. I'll certainly be watching that, but I think Liverpool, Bolton, the return of Owen Coyle. Burnley travelling to Bolton for the first time. I'm sure he get a warm Lancashire reception from the Burnley faithful. Bolton 8-11, 130 then the away side for Burnley, and 5-2 the draw. Of course, Burnley have such a wretched record on the travels in the Premier League so far this season, but they weren't that bad at Old Trafford. But of course they then were beaten by Reading at the weekend, and probably a lot of people think must-win probably game for Bolton. A big relegation game this in Lancashire, and 11-8 on for Bolton. No serious opinion myself. Aston Villa, fascinating game, 7-4 against Arsenal, 11-8, and 9-4 the draw. Of course they only played each other over Christmas. Arsenal ran out easy winners on that occasion, 3-0. Villa will be looking for revenge. Villa, of course, had 3 games last week with the second leg of the Carling Cup, and of course they played on the Thursday before that, so a lot of the Villa players have played an awful lot of games. And of course Arsenal, we know, rested an awful lot of their key players against Stoke, but that backfired on them. They were beaten 3-1 yesterday. Fascinating game this again. I wouldn't surprise me if this has finished a 1-1 draw. Nats a 9-4 shot. Chelsea against this resilient 15 game unbeaten, and I go Everton had chance after chance in the second half, but the games are won in the first half on this occasion, and Birmingham were outstanding against Everton in that first half. Everton didn't have a shot in the first half. I watched this game live, and Birmingham were excellent, and Michelle came into the midfield, and they played 5, and Alan McLeish is doing an absolutely outstanding job. But this is the acid test, isn't it? Goodness me, if they get through this. 5-1 on Chelsea against Birmingham, 11-1 for Birmingham, 9-2 the draw. But this is tremendous. They are the team of the year for me so far. That's Birmingham City. 11-10 on another Lancashire derby, Blackburn against Wigan, 11-4. Wigan, they've got a very ordinary record away from home. And then Everton, I do think Everton will beat Sunderland 13-8 on the Blues faithful. We went to Goodison Park, I think, expecting another big run in the FA Cup, and I think that first half display was quite a chastening experience. Nadal Federer Murray tomorrow about 9 o'clock UK time. 4-5 Andy Murray, even money Nadal. I think that'll surprise some people, but not maybe if you've watched the Australian Open tennis. I think Murray has really been, he hasn't dropped a set. He's 4-1 to beat Nadal in straight sets tomorrow. I do fancy Murray. I think Murray will win. I think he'll beat Roddick and Silic, the winner of that, in the semi-final. But if you've watched Federer there, he just quite, like swatting a fly against Leighton Hewitt. Leighton Hewitt now, he's lost his last 15 games to the great man, to Roger Federer. But we bet now on the outright for the men, 7-4 for Fed, 4-1 then for Murray, 5-1 then for Rafa. Djokovic serenely going through. Djokovic got a wonderful draw, hasn't played anyone of note. 13-2. Davydenko came through in 5 against Verdasco today. He's a 7-1 shot. Roddick 14, remember, a 5-set winner against Gonzo. Silic 18-1, 5-set winner against Del Potro. They play each other as well, so that's what I'm thinking here. The 5 sets, it looks like that'll be a tough game tomorrow as well. Maybe Murray will, hopefully Murray can beat Rafa and win that as well in the final. In semi-final runs, Joe-Wilfried Tsonga 18-1, and we've got betting on the others. Federer, for example, 2-5 against Davydenko, 15-8. Djokovic 8-13 against Tsonga, 5-4. I think that 13-8 on is a decent price as well. And I know Tsonga got to the final in Australia 2 years ago. I think Djokovic, a former winner of the title, I think he'll get through. 6-4 on Roddick against Silic, 6-5, and then, well, as I say, the big one, 9 o'clock, around about 9 o'clock on BBC television on Eurosport tomorrow. 4-5 for Andy Murray against Rafa Nadal, even money. Murray's got a very good record against Nadal, I think, but this in the Grand Slam semi-final, Grand Slam quarter-final, I think the winner of this will get to the final. Whether he can beat Federer, who knows, but 4-5 Andy Murray against Rafa Nadal, even money. I think that even money will come under threat, I must say. I think people will sort of think Nadal beat him at Wimbledon a couple of years ago, but I fancy Muzza. Come on, Andy, be lucky.